Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the regular board meeting of Dundee Township for August 2026. I will call the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day. Trustee Drake. Here. Trustee Fixmer.
Here.
Trustee Harney.
Here.
Supervisor Shaw.
Here. Okay, I ask that you rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's your cue, trustee.
Your turn.
All right. I would like to move that we make a small adjustment in the agenda and that we move the presentations, first with Jim Belden and then with Andres Diaz and then with Ed Tracy, that we move that before the public comment in order that we can allow these gentlemen to go home before the public comment part.
So you wanted to put them in the different order then?
Yeah, put them in a different order.
Can you
Jim-
repeat that?
before-
I got it.
Yeah, and then before public comment.
2, 3, then 1.
So it'd be in this order.
2, 3, 1.
Yes.
2, 3, 1. Okay.
I'm going to get a second.
I'll second.
Discussion. Well, no discussion.
Is there any, no discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day. Trustee Drake.
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer.
Yes.
Trustee Harney.
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw.
Yes. Okay, so that is approved as amended. The next item will be presentation.
Yeah, Belvin first.
Okay, so we're going to move to presentations. And Andres Diaz, Executive Director of Food for Greater Elgin. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I'm tall, but not quite that tall. I brought some hard copy handouts, and I'm not going to read every word, just walk you through it. I'm the CEO of Food for Greater Elgin. As you can see on slide number 1, that's a photo of a retired couple who help us, one of over 250 volunteers that we have. So we were founded in 2011, just past our 15th year, and our mission is to help individuals who cannot help themselves with food and also to provide community resources. We're by far the largest pantry in Kane County. We get food from a number of different places, including grocery stores, we all know, Target, Walmart, etc. We're few, full-time staff of 10, as I mentioned, well over 200 volunteers. On a duplicated basis, so that means that, for example, trustee charity, you come to us as one individual, but if we serve you 4 times in a month, we count you 4 times. So that's how we get 250,000. Of that number, approximately 15% are residents in the Dundee Township, and that's why I'm here. So we also ask our guests or neighbors, as we call them, how we're doing, and they tell us that choice is their number 1 priority. We're a choice pantry. We have people come in and fill their grocery carts, and that's about 100 pounds of food that they get to choose. And we also have them tell us that over 99% say that we treat them with respect and dignity. In FY27, so far in June, July, compared with a year ago, we're looking at about a 12% increase in demand for food. So we're asking the Dundee Township for $50,000. That's $25K for operating expenses to buy food and milk, and that basically is 1 month's worth of food and dairy, and that means about 14,000 times that we can help people, and 25,000 for what we call the big idea. So the next slide is a heat map, and the rectangle you see is the Dundee Township. So you can see that we are physically in your township, and 15%, as I said, of your residents come to us for food, and we get food to them a number of different ways. The next slide is a few data points, because we want to let everybody know that people come to us when they need us. And for example, almost 50% of the individuals have come to us only twice in the last 12 months, and 70% have come to us fewer than 6 times in the last 12 months. So again, people come to us when they need us. The next slide shows a demographic breakout. Over 30% of the people who come to us and whom we serve are kiddos. They're under the age of 18. The biggest increase we've seen in the last 12 months are individuals over the age of 60, seniors like me. And these individuals are on a fixed income. And unfortunately, that segment for us is over 40% are on both SNAP and Medicaid. We've already seen the SNAP working requirements have an impact. As I mentioned before, June, July, about a 12% increase over a year before. And we know that Medicaid is going to change after the elections. The next slide is to say what kind of food we serve. And no, it's not mostly junk food. Over 30% of fruits and vegetables. We also make sure that we provide non-protein meat. Again, we reflect the eating habits of the country. And we've also seen a big increase in dairy over the last 5 years. The next slide basically shows you who we are. So first and foremost, we're a food pantry. And certainly on my watch as a retired corporate guy, I want us to make sure that we're the most efficient food pantry there is. And earlier this year, I had an intern, and based on audited financial public information, we're twice as efficient as the other food pantry in Illinois, period. And I say that because when you entrust your dollars to us, we make sure that we're very efficient in bringing in food. And right now, we're on a run rate of about 5 million pounds of food on an annual basis. And we see that increase, again, 10 to 15% over the next year. We're also a mini food bank. We partner with not only U46, but E300. We deliver food to your schools. We just signed a partnership with Boys Girls Club, the new one. We're going to store food for them because they're not big enough to do that. And because we know a thing or two about the food pantry, we're also working with Amanda, their CEO, on best practices. The next slide is the big idea. So the big idea is this. If you were to come to our physical location, you would see that we have a bunch of small offices. It's not built for what we do. So the big idea is we're going to tear down as many walls as possible. Instead of squeezing in our guests and neighbors like sardines, we're going to be able to accommodate them in a dignified, respectful manner. And right now, we're planning to launch that in early to mid-October and to have that finished roughly 3 months later. And that's it. So high-level overview, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
So, Mr. Diaz, you've been here 2 times.
Yes.
I am interested in speaking with you further about this. So let's talk. So I think we have some room in EAGA program, and I would like to at least consider this. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions? All right.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
your
for
time.
being here.
Thank
Okay, our
you.
next presentation is
Belden,
Mr. Belden
for Belden Energy.
for Belden Energy Electric Aggregation. Thank you for being with us here. The floor is yours.
Thank you for inviting me tonight. I'm Jim Belden from Belden Energy Solutions. And I'm a managing director for the company who's involved in energy consulting and advisory services. And the item on the agenda tonight is one in which it asks the township board to approve a renewal of the MC Squared electric aggregation program. And to give you some history about this program, this is something that the township started 10 years ago. And so we've been involved in various programs, renewals for throughout this 10-year period. Since about 2021, we went to a program that MC Squared offered, which is called the Comment Match. And this is a program that they devised. It's unique to MC Squared. Served in this program has been very well received by about 60 other towns, townships, villages, cities, counties through northern Illinois. So it's a program in which MC Squared is able to look at the town in whole. They're able to look at each account within the town and determine if they can serve it or not, allowing everyone still to get the same comment match price. And I know some have asked, well, what's the advantage of this if everyone is getting the comment match? And the benefit comes out in which MC Squared is able to derive a civic contribution for each one of the respective communities. And in this case, with Dundee Township, we're able to, with the renewal signing, we're able to provide the township with an additional $6,000 of civic contribution, which is up to their discretion to decide how to use. So that is, in a nutshell, the summary of the program. The renewal amendment agreement is virtually identical to the one that we signed in 2024, since it still is a carryover of the same 24-month term with $6,000 of civic contributions coming to it. And I want to note is that the program is extremely flexible, that there is no one that is obligated to stay in the program, that they can exit the program for any reason at any time without penalty. Conversely, they're able to enter the program and have MC Squared determine if where they should be served, whether it's through ComEd or through MC Squared. Once the amendment is signed, we'll start a process of giving every eligible account within the township a letter. A letter should go out about mid-September outlining the different options that a customer has, whether to stay in the program, whether to exit the program, and they'll have, I think, approximately 21 days to decide that. But again, even if they miss that window, the account can leave the program at any time for any reason. So it seems there is no downside from the standpoint of the obligation that the township would put on an individual account. So with that, I'm happy to answer any additional questions that the board may have. But that's, in a nutshell, that's about it.
So is it $6,000 per year?
It's $6,000 for the 24-month term or $3,000 per year.
Okay. And what was the last round? What was the last round? Do you recall?
The last round, for the
Like
last
before,
contract
yeah.
was the same. It was $3,000 a year.
I will,
Yeah.
do you want a motion?
Sorry, it's later on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Under business.
Sorry.
I'm just trying to make sure I understand correctly because this is a little bit new to me. So you would kind of see if MC Squared or ComEd would be better on a case-by-case basis for each
Internally,
account?
Henry, that's how it would work. From the standpoint that, again, the concept is everyone gets the same price, comment match. However, there are some accounts within the township, in every municipality, some that are favorable to be served directly by MC Squared, and others that are not, they're not economical to be served by MC Squared.
Would this affect people who are on some of the plans that say, hey, I want most of my electricity to count from nuclear or wind? Like, I know there's some programs that,
If they're on a third-party supply,
Yeah.
that they will not be affected.
okay,
So it doesn't affect anyone who's on third-party supply, anyone who's on what's called hourly energy pricing, or anyone that I believe has a solar system that has signed up for net metering. So there will be no changes to anyone's desires. It's only, MC Squared will go through the account list provided by ComEd, which then outlines what are the right class, what is the classification of service for each one of those accounts, to make sure that there's no disruption of service.
and then, so that's basically for those who would, you think would be better served by MC Squared, that's an opt-out thing? It it's just automatically done?
It would be if for whatever reason they did not want to be served, they would opt out. They would be served directly by ComEd or a supplier, third-party supplier of their choice.
And then just curious, since the customer information will be provided, what, I guess I'd be concerned, like, I'm pretty good with the security of that personal information. Like, you guarantee that it's safe.
The state of Illinois has some very specific regulations regarding the confidentiality of the utility data, and it could be only used for the specific purposes outlined in the law that allows this to the municipal aggregation to move forward.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Okay, so that's all. All right,
sir.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presentation is from Mr. Tracy of Selden Fox PC, here to present on fiscal year 2025 and 2026 audit results. Mr. Tracy?
Hi, thank you for having me here this evening. I'm here to present on the audit for financial statements. Our audit is intended to give reasonable but not absolute assurance that financial statements are fairly presented. For our audits, what we do, we take a look at your internal financials, identify what's significant, and focus our procedures on those significant areas to make sure that all things are presented fairly and without, in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. We do take a look at internal controls as well. An audit, a financial statement audit doesn't give an opinion on internal controls, but we do perform walkthroughs to see if those controls are operating effectively and operating as designed. We don't rely on the internal controls when we do our audit because it's more efficient, excuse me, to perform extended substantive procedures on the balance sheet and the income statement and not rely on the internal controls. These substantive procedures that we do include reconciling balance sheet accounts to subsidiary detailed ledgers, third-party reports, comparing revenues and expenses to budget expectations and prior year results, and investigating any unexpected or unusual variances, and vouching significant transactions to supporting documentation. You report your internal records on a fund basis, so it's what's called a modified accrual basis. It's more of a current focus, and so we take those fund financial statements, include those within our audit, and those are segregated by major funds. And so the major funds for the township are the general town fund, the road and bridge general fund, the cemetery fund, and the mental health board funds. Those are considered major funds based on the dollar value of assets, liabilities, revenues, or expenses. It's a formula. And then we look at the other funds in an aggregated presentation. In addition to those fund financial statements, the audit report also has a second set of financial statements called the government-wide financial statements. And those take more of a long-term focus, report long-term assets, long-term liabilities that you typically will not see in your internal financial records. As I mentioned, the major funds, I'll just kind of give you some highlights, financial highlights for the year. The general town fund reported a positive bottom line of $75,476 before making a transfer to capital reserve fund. Its ending fund balance in the general town fund was just under $900,000 at the end of the year, which is about 55% of your annual expenses, which is a really good spot to be. The other major, the revenues were up about 4% over the prior year, and we're right in line with budget, and the expenses were under budget by about 2%. The road bridge general fund had a positive bottom line of just under $300,000, which exceeded the budget expectations by about $300,000. Revenues were over budget by 2.5%, expenditures under budget by nearly 25%. And the cemetery fund had a positive change in fund balance for the year of $514,000, compared to a budget expectations of $346,000, primarily due to revenues exceeding budget by nearly $180,000 as grant revenues and sales and burial charges exceeded budget by $106,000 and $81,000 respectively. So all major funds reported positive bottom lines for the year prior to any transfers being made out. In all instances, expenditures were under budget, and just it's a generally positive year overall for the township. As far as the audit itself, we just make a few adjustments, very minor in scope and nature. The books and records are in really good shape. We certainly appreciate that. I did mention, they have the second set of financial statements, the government-wide financial statements. So we do make adjustments to convert your books and records to those statements. And those are all included in the letters that we submit with the audit report as exhibits that show those adjustments. But again, those adjustments were pretty, any adjustments to the fund financial statements were very minor in general, and the adjustments to convert those to government-wide statements were what I would call routine and what we typically find in our audits. So overall, I thought it was a very positive year for the township financially, and a very positive audit in terms of being able to come in and do our work and get the assistance we needed. So certainly appreciated that.
I have just one question. And it's on this first page, Exhibit 1.
Yes.
And it's the open space bond escrow fund balance. It says it's about $256,000, $257,000. I thought we'd zeroed out the bond fund.
Which,
Here's this one right here. I circled it. I thought we had zeroed out that escrow bond fund, because the bonds are paid off and have been for several years now.
I will take a look at that, but I think maybe, look, can I get back to you? Off the top of my head, I don't recall. This was a little while ago.
That's fine.
But I will definitely get back to you. I'll give an answer to you.
I'm as far into the weeds with that question as I'm ever going to get with accounting. So.
I'm wondering if maybe it was just an account, the balance that was carried forward and just being reversed. I'd have to double check that.
Okay, thank you.
Is that all? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comment. Please come forward and state your name, and you have 3 minutes to address the board. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board at this time?
Foley?
Good evening. I'm here because of the event permit at Junkie Creek for our church to operate a hayride at October 3rd. Thank you for the simplified release document. It's going to be quite an energy saver, mental energy saver to work with that document. We've submitted a slightly revised permit request to include snack time after the hayride there in the pavilion. It'll be brown bag, it won't be any cooking or preparation or anything. And we'd like to decorate pumpkins with marker pens, not paint or anything. It'll be a kids program, not for adults. And when we're all done with the hayride, we'll donate the straw bales to Kirby's field crew. We'll leave them right there by the pavilion where he asked for them. Other than that, we're looking forward to it. Hope if you have any questions, let them go. Thank you.
Sandy Morgenstein?
Good evening, Madam Supervisor. I haven't seen you in a while. Good evening, trustees. You know, it's been about 18 months since we've had an election. I think one of the principal reasons this group was elected is because the citizens of our community wanted more progress in supporting our citizens with respect to the mental health board. That was one of the 2 outstanding issues. The people of our community, some of them are hurting. They look to you. They're really hurting. And I ask you to remember why it was that you were elected. The previous board and the mental health board, some was nonpartisan and some was bipartisan. But the mental health board was not functional. That's why you were elected. We're not asking for a bipartisan board. We're asking for a functioning mental health board, one that can meet the needs of the citizens of the community. I ask you all to work to honor those votes, those people who came out and voted for you, and the reason they voted for you, and I ask you to do the right thing. I ask you to work together. I ask you to coordinate with anybody in the community who volunteers to help. But please remember, our community is hurting. It is unlike other townships that have mental health boards. Ours is not functioning. And that is counter to the results and the will of the people.
Jared Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam Chair and trustees. Jared Sanchez, East Dundee. Not here to talk about the mental health board, which I have done many times. I think I've pretty much said all I have to say on the topic. I see it's on the agenda again tonight, and I do hope there is some kind of resolution on that issue. But the reason I'm here tonight is to talk about some of the other things that came to light during my experience of helping to defend the mental health board, which was functioning, by the way, up until earlier last year, or actually earlier this year. Because of this information that has come to light, a lot of the accusations and allegations that are corroborated by multiple witnesses, myself included, I am calling for you, Supervisor Shaw, to resign. Not immediately, you have a meeting to run, but as soon as possible. I don't say this lightly. This is a very serious matter. I've been involved in local government for about 10 years. I've seen a lot. I've seen how things can really go downhill pretty quickly, given certain circumstances. Currently, there is an investigation by the Illinois Department of Human Rights based on allegations made by a former employee. These allegations, again, have been witnessed by multiple employees who I've talked to almost all of them except for one and heard the same stories. And they all claim that you, Supervisor Shaw, have engaged in discrimination of gender and race, sexual harassment, and creating a hostile work environment. Some of these allegations that are, again, being investigated is that you stated Mexicans are stupid for not doing immigration the way that Indians do. That elected officials are playing into the hands of illegal immigrants when they oppose these strong-handed authoritarian tactics of ICE agents. You called a Mexican employee a Mongolian and Genghis Khan, which made me very uncomfortable and upset. Not letting employees at the Mexican Independence Day Parade, El Grito in Carpentersville, display Mexican flags stating that we're in America. Discussing private sexual encounters with staff, employees, and speaking lewdly about other elected officials. And outside of this investigation is one of my favorites, is you instructed a cemetery staff member to take a picture of myself and the former township supervisor having breakfast after she was already out of office. And I wore the shirt as a commemoration of that $4,000 picture, because all the legal fees that were spent when we went after that picture. Because of these things and more, there is a loss of confidence in you by your board and by the general public. And I do fear that the results of this investigation and whatever other reports may be forthcoming are going to cost the taxpayers a lot of money. And so for that, I ask you to please resign.
No further.
Okay, I will close this portion of the meeting. Okay, the next up we have reports. Mr. Sanchez, are you presenting for Mr. Caius?
I can give some updates on Mr. Kai's behalf. He is coming back from Springfield still, so a couple things. We did pass a budget recently, and I know there was some hullabaloo in the newspapers about a tax increase. That is a reality. It's a small, I believe, 0.2% increase on your tax bill. There are a lot of opinions on that. It is just me reporting, not how I feel about it. We do have, sorry, Chris just told me this over the phone, and I'm totally blanking on this one. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to you, sorry. Should have wrote it down.
Commissioner, you've already shared your report. All right, Assessor. Okay. Madam Clerk.
No report.
Okay, Trustees.
Cemetery report.
Cemetery report.
It's coming.
After this. Did I do the HOA report now then?
If you care to.
Well, this is my first time doing it, so.
Keep it, you're not kidding.
As your new erstwhile HOA person. So we spoke about, we had an emergency meeting because of water pipes, and we also talked about a couple other things. We spoke about the surveillance fees and options for the cameras, and it was decided to be tabled until December when they do the budget reviews. The community room, the license agreement, they decided to move forward. As to the water valves, they have it like a temporary fix that we're gonna wait till the end of December to budget how they're going to do that, so it's not really decided yet, the approach. But they will discuss how to fix the pipes. And we did not discuss the Stein that was mentioned last month, so I'm thinking that next time we'll talk about the slow Stein outside that was supposed to be at Howard and the entrance to 611. So it was me, Londe, the secretary person, I can't remember her name. I didn't write it down, I
Katie's
apologize.
the secretary. Aren't you
Yeah.
Katie?
No, the person who kept the notes for the owners.
Chris, Kevin.
Oh,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes, yes. And Steve was on the phone and Mr. Rosen was not present. So that's what I have.
Trustee Henry, what's happening with the landscaping? We have 2 corn stalks.
I have no idea that was a product.
Can you please maybe do something?
Yes, please.
Thank
There's
you.
a regular meeting on August 31st, so we'll probably address items of
Okay.
that nature.
So perhaps we could talk about the landscaping, and maybe the first thing would be to remove the corn stalks,
We're gonna
which
have
look
corn, though.
ridiculous.
You don't like them?
I like it, we'll have corn.
But
That
you need
one-
to have like a whole bunch of it for it to.
Yeah, like
Then
one-
increase it.
And blanch it.
I don't think it's going to mature as corn, just saying. It's landscaping, not a garden.
I like
But
it.
it's kind of cool.
I
Trustee
vote for
Harney,
it.
are you looking for a native species project?
I could undertake that if the condominium board is interested in hearing my plans. I would be happy to do that if approached.
Trustee Henry, will you suggest? Thank you.
Sadly, I
better
would
than
suggest the removal of the corn.
No, that Trustee Harney, no, just suggest that Trustee Harney would like to work on some native species. She's offered her assistance for free.
Okay? Yes.
Anyone else? Okay, Mental Health Board?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's it.
Yeah.
Yes, we will hopefully meet tomorrow night. We will meet tomorrow night, hopefully with a full or partially full board. We have published an agenda, and that agenda includes the approval of hiring the administrator that we made arrangements for and interviewed over the past year. That will help get us off the ground again. And also to approve the 16 grant application projects which we had brought to near completion last January. and we're not able to finish and do the final contracts with the final signatures until hopefully tomorrow night. That depends on the appointments, if the appointments are successful tonight. We do have Tara McShane, the three people. There are three people that have been proposed. One of them, her name is Tara McShane. She's a new candidate, and I interviewed her by phone earlier today. She seems like a really excellent pick. I am very excited, hopefully, to be able to work with her. She was not able to be here tonight. We asked her to come for an interview during the executive session, but it was somewhat last minute, and so she has childcare responsibilities that she was not able to give to someone else. So she also will probably not be able to come tomorrow night, but because there are either work issues or childcare issues, she will be able to attend remotely if she chooses to do that. And of course, we will make those accommodations, absolutely, if they're requested. So if we do not get board appointments tonight, our next meeting is still tomorrow night, but we will not be able to conduct business because I suspect, again, we will not have a quorum. The next meeting after that, I'm talking to the members, but it looks like one other member and myself will be both in town one day next month. And so we would move the meeting to September 15th if we're able to have it, because Ray Auger and I both, it's the only time we're in town for the month of September at the same time. So otherwise, that is what I have to report, and hopefully we will be able to move forward tomorrow night.
Trustee Honey, I'll circle back after the appointments to touch base on that, okay?
Okay.
All right, and then next up, Open Space. Kirby has already shared his report. We will now hear from the cemetery.
Afternoon, everyone. Eric Salas, Dundee Township Cemetery Manager, reporting with the cemetery station report. This monthly period, we totaled the graves sold for 38 graves. Total income is 46.4K. Operations and maintenance for cemetery staff continues to make steady progress on several small improvements and maintenance of projects throughout the summer, as well as trying to maintain with regular operations. Most landscapers around the region had a surge with the recent weather and the extreme humidity that you guys had from past couple weeks. Still trying to catch up with that. So sections that have been mowed, literally the day after, 2 days can already be mowed as if they weren't touched. Staff repainted an existing West Side Cemetery entrance sign to improve its appearance and visibility. Refurbished there, resurfaced and then repainted, as well as a sign that you see up front, a bronze plaque that was installed in front on the brick pillar at the entrance. And then at the West Side Cemetery, a leaning pine tree that was a hazard was removed. And then two new blazing maples, native blazing maples were planted at the East Side Cemetery. East Side Cemetery continues to address water leaks issues at the East Side Cemetery. Staff obtained 2 separate quotes for repair. There's currently we went with the lesser quote. After excavation, we found that the 1.5-inch copper line T is damaged, as well as a shutoff and a yard hydrant that supplies water to residents there in section, visitors and residents in section 17. So that's going to get repaired in the next couple of weeks. Summary for staff continues to focus on maintenance and grounds, addressing maintenance concerns, and staff will continue to work on projects that we can while still maintaining regular operations and maintenance operations going. Brief update that I wanted to give for our burn project that we have going on at the East Side Cemetery. Currently meeting with General L. Hines and Associates in engineering and land development services at the end of this month to review plans for implementation of a gravel road and implementation for our natural soil berm there as well, located at the north rear side of our property. We're also in talks with King County Resources to review the proposed location, discuss drainage, water flow, any other concerns that we may have arised. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is general assistance. Wise.
Good evening, board members and residents of the Dundee Township. So here is the report for the GA and EA. The reporting time is from July 16 to August 19. During this period, Dundee Township has received in total 15 assistant cases, consisting of seven general assist and 8 emergency assist. So in general assist, total 7 cases. So 1 case was approved and the client is currently receiving the benefits. And the 3 cases are currently in progress and undergoing the review, and 3 cases were determined to require to move to emergency assist programs. And in emergency assist, we received total 8 cases. So 3 cases are currently in progress and 5 cases were declined. 3 were declined due to the income exceeding the application program limit. 1 was declined because the applicant didn't submit the required documents, and 1 case was declined because of the assets exceeded the application limit. The cases were reviewed and proceeded based on the program's eligibility requirements and the following reports for the July 16 to August 19. And moving to the presentation. So today I'm pleased to present a partnership opportunity between Dundee Township and Wood Spring Suites designed to provide safe, temporary housing support to eligible residents facing an housing emergency. So in the first slide where we can see that this partnership can give residents a safe place to stay while they can work towards a permanent housing solution in the emergency situation. And in the second slide, so the partnership summary, so Wood Spring Suites can become an additional resources for the residents receiving an assist throughout the GA and EA program when temporary lodging is needed. And the goal is to help families stay safe and suitable during the difficult situation, instead of being left without a shelter. Moving to the third slide, what Wood Spring Suites can offer us. So Wood Spring Suites can provide flexibility weekly and monthly lodging options along with the fixed rate that can help Dundee Township plan assistance for more effectively. And the vouchers and the approval of lodging arrangement would be eligible residents under the guidelines of the EA and GASS. The slide 4. So in this one, helping residents facing evictions. So for the residents who have already been evicted and are at the intermediate risk of losing their housing, temporary lodging can be provided by the Wood Spring Suites and can prevent them from becoming homeless. And this gives individuals a family a valuable time to find a permanent housing while reducing the stress of the emergency. Moving to the next slide. Emergency utility situation. So where a residence is facing an urgent utility shut off, so in that case we can give a temporary lodging, may provide a safe alternative while the situation is being addressed. And any assist will be reviewed and provided according to the applicable GNEA program guidelines. In the next slide, so benefits for the Dundee Township. So this partnership would be given Dundee Township and another resources to respond quickly and where the residents can have an emergency housing assist. And most importantly, it would be a strengthening to our ability to support families and help residents to move from an emergency situation to a stress-ability. The next slide. So, partnership can work like if temporary lodging is appropriate and approved, Dundee Township can coordinate with the Wood Spring Suites so the residents receive the authorized lodging or a washer under the ENGA guidelines. Moving to the next slide, working together for our community. So by working together, Dundee Township and the Wood Spring Suites can build a strong community support system and help family moving towards the permanent housing. And moving to the conclusion, so this partnership together, Dundee Township and Wood Spring Suites can make a meaningful difference for the residents when they need the support the most. Thank you.
Thank you. I will yield my time so we can get to the mental health board fast as possible, as I'm sure everybody wants to. All right, I will close that portion of the meeting. The next item on the agenda is approval of meeting minutes from July 15, 2026 for regular meeting minutes as presented. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. Okay. The motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day. Trustee Drake.
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer.
Yes.
Trustee Harney.
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw.
Yes, the motion carries and the minutes are approved as presented. Next, we'll have the treasurer's report. With us this evening is Mr. Tom Coughlin from Governmental Accounting, Inc. Mr. Coughlin, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. We're 5 months into our fiscal year. For a quick rundown here. On the revenue side, we brought in just over $2.3 million in total. It's 53% of the budget. Big driver being property taxes. We've seen that big first installment come in. We're sitting at 52% of our budget there. On the expense side, about $1.43 million in total operating expenses. That's only 27% of budget. We're a little bit lower from the unused dollars from the health board, capital projects that haven't occurred yet, things like that. But all of our big drivers, salaries, things like that, right on track, even a little bit lower than we expect to be by a couple points. So currently, with that being said, with getting the taxes in already, and then those big drivers being a little bit lower, we're sitting at a surplus so far at $886,211, and then an ending fund balance of $6,541,414. On the next page, just a look, our expenses by department here. So we've got road and bridge there at 36% of all expenses, capital at 4%, supervisor's department at 27%, the assessor at 13%, open space at 3%, GA at 2%, cemetery at 15%. 2 pages down. We'll just take a look at our bank accounts between First American Bank and Illinois Fund, giving us a book balance there, just over $6.5 million in total. Take any questions?
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented? A second. Okay. Motion is made by trustee Fixmer and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day. Trustee Drake.
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer.
Yes.
Trustee Harney.
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw.
Yes. The motion carries and the treasurer's report is hereby approved as presented. We will now move to audit and approval of bills. Mr. Coughlin, could you please present the bills?
Sure. So from July 11th to August 16th, that's just the timing of the report from last month's report to when I prepared this one. Bills for the supervisor's department, $27,224.82. The assessor, $8,280.72. Nothing for the clerk during that time. Open space, $6,984.97. GA, we were at $2,111.56. Cemetery, $24,824.51. Road and bridge, $14,386.51. Nothing for mental health. That is all.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve payment of bills for Road District General Assistance Mental Health Board? Well, we don't have mental health board.
So moved.
town fund as presented. Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Fiximer. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the bills are approved as presented. Okay, the only old item on old business today is approval of mental health board appointments.
Yep. You can start here. All right, here. There's three.
Right here.
There are three.
Okay. Currently, there are 3 vacancies on the mental health board. Over the past several months, there has been tremendous amount of discussion concerning the vacancies and the future composition of the mental health board. We have reached an agreement that will allow us to move forward with filling the 3 current vacancies. As part of that agreement, Trustee Harney, who currently serves as a president of the mental health board and as the mental health board's township board liaison member, has agreed to resign as president and as a member of the mental health board effective May 2027. Upon Trustee Harney's resignation becoming effective, I will appoint Trustee Fiximer to serve as mental health board's township board liaison through May 2029, subject to advice and consent of the township board at that time. No action is being taken tonight on that future appointment. With that understanding, I am appointing the following 3 individuals to the Dundee Township Community Mental Health Board. Ken Schaefer for a 4-year term beginning August 1st, 2026 and ending July 31st, 2030. Tara McShane for a 4-year term beginning August 1st, 2026 and ending July 31st, 2030, and Amber Cotter to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Belinda Adame for the remainder of the term ending in December 31, 2026. Is there a motion?
27.
2027.
Yep.
My apologies. Okay. Is there a motion to advise and consent to these appointments as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by Trustee Harney and seconded by Trustee Fiximer. Is there a discussion? Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzmer?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. The motion carries and the Township Board advises and consents to the appointments of Ken Schaefer, Tara McShane, Amber Cotter to Dundee Township Community Mental Health Board as presented. So, Trustee Harney, circling back, if you could, I strongly want to suggest giving our new members some time to catch up and maybe get a packet and review it. They may also need to be sworn in, and so it would be nice if we could, if you guys could just meet tomorrow for information more than anything else. Would that be something you would consider?
I will bring that up.
Okay.
But I will push back on that a little bit. The budget, I believe the next time we're going to be able to meet is September 15th. That would be, that's not a regularly scheduled meeting, but because of different members' schedules, that is a time that we could meet in September. However, we are 8 months into the grant year, which means that the 16 grants that we had teed up and ready to roll last January have not been able to be finalized, and we need to do that. And so I think that all of those grants were thoroughly reviewed and vetted by the old board. We will, of course, the board members that are coming and being seated tomorrow night will have the option to vote no or to abstain should they choose so. But these grants have been reviewed, they meet the objectives of the 708 board, and they were essentially promised last January. And I feel strongly that we should at least try and get this rolling because we're so late in the process. The other thing is that along the same line, Dr. Joseph Triani, was the choice of our search committee. And again, we had the contract teed up last December, ready to roll and finalized, and then here we are for 8 months without a director or administrator. And it is extremely hard for us to function without an administrator. So those two items are on the agenda for tomorrow night. And I have spoken to, or will speak to the members, the new members of the board who have not had a chance to look at that yet. Both Ken and Amber have been at these meetings and they are aware. Ms. McShane has not. I've spoken to her already. But again, the ask that I would make of everyone that night is we desperately need to get this show on the road. And I would ask that everyone trust that the process did a good job up to last January and that we can move forward. The budget is a different item, and that indeed is something that we need to look at in September. There's disagreement on our board, on our 708 board, about what the budget should include or what the amount of the budget is. And that's something that we will have to, as a board, sort through, and that will give us, those several weeks will give us each member a time to look forward. So, but I will definitely bring your recommendation to the board as a recommendation from you, and the board will make that decision.
I appreciate it. I mean, it is the board's prerogative. I can only recommend it, but it would be nice to welcome them and give them some time. All right. So that said, the motion carries and the township, did I say that already?
You did.
Okay. All right. So
On to the next item.
I'm dumbfounded now.
I believe
After
Lois
7
is-
minutes.
she
Should we
wasn't
take a
here,
break
but-
now to celebrate?
Yeah, I think bring up the champagne.
I think you're close enough, so.
Okay. First item on the new business is fiscal year 2025-2026 Dundee Township audit. Earlier this evening, Ed Tracy from Selden Fox presented on this matter. Is there a motion to approve the audit as presented?
I'll move.
A second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Fiximer and seconded by trustee Harney. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call.
I do believe, did you sort something out?
Oh,
Yeah, to your question, that was a typo, and that should have been a mental health.
I feel much better about that. Thank you.
We'll make it, I apologize.
Although I was hoping there was that much money laying around that I hadn't realized was there. So there's that. There's disappointment on my part, but we're, okay, thank you.
So with that amendment, so if trustee Fiximer and trustee Harney agree to make that, the amendment to the audit, then we can approve it as amended, as a friendly amendment.
Fine with me.
They shake their heads affirmatively.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would call the question to
All
approve
right.
the audit as amended.
Okay. So earlier this evening, Selden Fox presented on the matter. Is there a motion to approve the amended, friendly amended?
So you just could call the question, because we do a friendly amendment. I know it's confusing, but it's actually easier this way.
Okay.
I promise.
So is there a motion to approve the audit?
Just a vote, we get the vote.
Madam Clerk?
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee
Easier
Fitzgerald?
this way than
Yes.
the other way.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. Okay, the motion is made,
Approved as amended.
approved as amended.
There you go.
Okay. Now, the next item of the business is approval of extended term agreement between, what is it, number 3? Amended number 3
Amendment
with.
number 3, yeah.
Amendment number 3, MC Squared Energy Services LLC for a 24-month extension of Township's electric aggregation program. Is there a motion to approve the extended term agreement amendment number 3?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion carries and the extended term agreement has been approved. The next item is approval of First Congregational Church of Dundee, October 3rd, 2026 hayride at Jelky Creek Bird Sanctuary. Is there a motion to approve
So moved.
the hayride? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Drake. Is there a discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Trustee Harney?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, the motion carries and the First Congregational Church at Dundee, October 3rd, 2026 Jelky hayride has been approved as presented.
For this one, I think it's, yeah, so get a motion to approve, get a second, then we can discuss amounts.
Okay, the next item of new business is approval of pay increase for non-managerial cemetery operations staff. Is there a motion to approve pay increase for non-managerial cemetery open operations staff?
I would like to discuss this in executive session before we do this motion. How would we go about doing that?
So you will, as now, you can table this till after executive session. Get a motion in a second.
Okay, I move that we table number 4, the approval of pay increases for non-managerial cemetery operations staff to after the executive session.
Second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake? Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Hardy?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes. So the motion made for a pay increase for the cemetery non-managerial staff has been moved to after the to the executive session.
Till after executive.
Till after the executive session. Okay. The next item on the agenda is executive session.
I will propose a motion
Okay.
to move to adjourn to executive session pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees or volunteers of the township.
I'll move. Do we need to move that?
You do, you need a motion.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't
so
think they
moved.
can hear me. Yeah, yep, sorry, I need to talk. I usually don't get told that I need to speak louder. So it's a motion to adjourn to executive session, right, to pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act, to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the township. So the idea behind that is because we're a public body, right, one of the exemptions to having open meetings, right, is when we do reviews of staff and things like that, so that you don't have to sit there and do it right publicly. So that's the idea. We
Okay,
get a
so
motion
do
in a
we-
second and then.
Okay, a motion? Trustee?
Motion. Hardy did.
Okay. Seconded, okay. So the motion is made by trustee Harney and seconded by trustee Drake. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Yes.
Trustee Fixmer?
Yes.
Trustee Hardy?
Yes.
Supervisor Shaw?
Yes, and we are now adjourned. We're calling back the meeting from executive session into the regular session at 8:26 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day? Trustee Drake?
Here.
Trustee Fixmer?
Present.
Trustee Hardy?
Here.
Supervisor Shaw?
Here.
Here. Okay,
You're going to return to this item,
okay, so we're returning.
to the cemetery staff.
Yes. All right, we're returning back to the cemetery staff pay increase for non-managerial cemetery operations. Is there
A motion.
a motion?
I am moving, gentlemen, please bear with me here, to table this motion until the next meeting, because apparently the situation was that there was supposed to be a performance review, which we are not in possession of. And so I am certainly not indicating that I'm opposed to this at this point, but I would like to, we've waited this long, I would like to, as a matter of just good governance, to have that performance review shared with the board, and then we will make a decision. And
We have them.
you did?
Yeah.
We
have them.
We didn't know that, so, okay. Perhaps we should go back into executive session and look at the performance reviews. Perhaps we should do that. Go back to executive session
Yeah.
and review the performance. Okay, sorry, guys.
Okay, so.
I will move that we go into executive session once again for the same things as before.
Wait, can we add anything so we can address?
You can go in, yeah, if you want to go into, for both reasons, yeah.
Let's do for both of them this time. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So for the recording, the proposed motion would be to adjourn to executive session for pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act in order to consider the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees or volunteers of the township, as well as, someone open that door. Can you open that door?
Okay.
Oh, because we can't be in a
Yeah,
closed
yeah.
meeting. It has to be open.
Yep, and also pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act, in order to consider litigation when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the township has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the township finds that an action is probable or imminent.
I move this motion.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Day, trustee Drake.
Yep.
Trustee Fixmer,
Yeah.
trustee Harney,
Yes,
supervisor Shaw.
Yes.
right.
Now you can close the door.
Sorry, and then, the time is 8:32. This is Clerk Clark. I'm calling the meeting back to order at 8:58 PM. Present here are trustee Day, absent, trustee Drake.
Here.
Trustee Fixmer,
Here.
trustee Harney,
Here.
supervisor Shaw, absent.
Motion to appoint chairman?
What's my motion?
Motion to appoint.
Oh, yes, I
Trustee
move that we
Drake, yeah.
appoint trustee Drake as the chairman pro tem.
I'll second that.
Thank you for your confidence, guys.
Can you roll call?
Trustee Day, trustee Drake,
Yes.
trustee Fixmer,
Yes.
trustee Harney,
Yes.
supervisor Shaw. The motion carried.
Okay. So we're going to go to the new business. We are back from executive session on the approval of pay increases for non-managerial cemetery operations staff.
Is there a motion?
We'll
Okay,
let,
I will move that we give the cemetery non-managerial employees a COLA 2.9% increase in pay, retroactive from March 1st of this year until the next budget decisions,
which is in,
which is in any time that we put together
Yeah.
soon, like October maybe.
do we have any discussion?
Get a second?
Do we have a second?
Second.
And any discussion? Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Trustee Day, trustee Drake,
Yes.
trustee Fixmer,
Yes.
trustee Harney,
Yes.
supervisor Shaw.
Okay, so that passes. Do I get are we-
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we get a roll?
Oh, wait, just a, this is kind of like a tie, Harney.
And then we'll go fix
Henry can do the motion, I'll do the second.
Okay.
Although I don't think adjournment needs a second, but I don't care.
There's an easy way to do that. Get up and go.
All right.
Oh, okay, and then,
then
okay,
it's not
trustee
funny.
Day, trustee Drake,
Yes.
trustee Fixmer,
Yes.
trustee Harney,
Yes,
supervisor Shaw.
we are adjourned.
Adjourn.
At 9 PM.